If you have built more than 5 flows in Power Automate, you have definitely hit this moment. You are about to store a value, and three options pop up into your head: initialize variable, set variable, or just throw a compose action there. So most people pick randomly. Some always use compose because it's quick. Some always use variable because that's what they have learned. Neither is wrong, but neither is right every time. So in this video, I'll show you the difference with simple example and live demo so you can confidently choose the right option every time. Before we begin, if you are preparing for Power Automate interview, I have also created a Power Automate interview handbook. You can find the link in the description. Now let's understand when to use variable and compose. Let's start with the basics. A variable in Power Automate is a named container that holds a value, and that value can change as your flow runs. Think of it like a box with a label on it. You can open that box and change what's inside and check it again later in the flow. To create that box, you use the initialize variable action. This action does two things at once. It gives a variable name and set its data type. Optionally, you can also give it a starting value. According to the Microsoft documentation, Power Automate currently supports 6 variable types: string for text values, boolean for true false, integer whole numbers, float for decimal numbers, array for list of items, and object a JSON style structure with properties and values. Now here is something most of people miss. Initialize variable can only be added at the top level of your flow. You can't put it inside a condition, a scope, or an apply to each loop. So whenever you are designing a flow, get into the habit of declaring all your variables right at the start before any branching logic. So once a variable is initialized, Power Automate provides several actions to work with it. Set variable lets you replace the current value with the new one. Increment variable increase the numerical values, while decrement variable decreases it. Append to string variable adds more text to an existing string, and append to array variable adds new items to an array. So depending on the variable type you have chosen, different actions becomes available. So now let's jump into the designer and actually build this. Let's create a simple instant cloud flow. I'll choose manually trigger a flow. I'll click on the plus icon and search for variable. I'll go ahead and choose the initialize variable. I'll name this variable as order count. Set the type to integer and give it a starting value of 0. Notice the three fields: name, type, and value. That's all we need to set to initialize a variable. Let's add another variable. I'll name it as customer name. And this time I'll choose its type as string and let the value empty for now. Now let's add another variable. So this time I'll add the set variable action and assign a value to the customer name. So when you click on this drop down, you will see all the variables which have been declared will be pop up here. So choose the customer name and provide a value. Suppose I'll provide a value to David. So now add one more increment variable. So this time I'll choose the order count and increment the value by 1. So this is a common pattern when working with loops where you need to keep track of how many items you have been processed. Now let's run the flow. I'll choose manually and test. So if you see the run history, variable order count initial value has 0. So if you see the output of the set variable, so we have set the value of customer name as David, and with the help of increment variable, we have incremented the value of order count to 1. So that's exactly what variables are designed for, storing values that can change throughout the flow. Now let's talk about the compose. So compose lives under the data operation category alongside actions like filter array, join, parse JSON, and select. So here is the key difference. According to the Microsoft guidance, compose is designed to generate a single output from a given input, and it does not require any initialization or declaration. So here you don't choose type, you don't create a variable, you simply provide a value or an expression, and compose produces an output that you can reference later. So when should you use compose? So according to Microsoft, compose is useful when you need to simplify a complex expression into a smaller reusable pieces, store a static value that won't change, perform intermediate calculations, and pass data between actions without creating a variable. So another benefit of compose is that it makes debugging easier. You can quickly see the input and output values in the run history. Now let's add the compose action to the same flow. So I'll go ahead and click on the plus icon, and this time I'll search for compose. So if you see here, you will find compose under the data operation. So select that. So in the input field, I'll use a concat expression to combine a greeting with the customer name variable we set earlier. So I'll click here, concat. So here I'll provide the greeting, hello. I'll add one space and comma. So here I'll provide the customer name. So from dynamic content, I'll choose the customer name and click on add. That's it. Just one input field, no variable type, no initialization required. Now let's run the flow and check the run history. So I'll click on run flow, done. So if you see the run history, so notice that compose clearly show both inputs and outputs. So this make it easier to understand and troubleshoot your flow. And if I need to use the same message again later in the flow, I don't have to write the expression again. I can simply reference the output of this compose action and reuse it wherever needed. So that's the advantage of using compose. So which one should you use? The answer is simple. Ask yourself one question. Will this value change during the flow? If answer is yes, use a variable. If answer is no, use compose. For example, counters, running totals, and values that change over time are good candidate for variables. But if you need just one time calculation or a value that stays same, compose is usually the better choice. A simple way to remember is compose is like a calculator. It shows a result. A variable is like a notebook. You can keep updating as your flow runs. So before we wrap up, here is a quick bonus tip. If you have multiple related values, you can also store them inside a single object variable. So for example, customer name, order ID, and status. So these variables can be grouped together in one variable. So this help keep related data organized and make your flow easier to maintain. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are preparing for interviews, make sure to check out complete Power Automate interview questions video linked on the screen. So this is a journey I will recommend. We start with a beginner concept where you build a strong foundation and understand the core building blocks of Power Automate. Then move to the intermediate level where you start building real automations and learn how different actions work together. Next comes advanced concept where you master expressions, error handling, approvals, and other important topics. After that, focus on scenario based questions because real interviews are all about solving business problems. Finally, practice rapid fire questions to strengthen your confidence and improve your response speed. Follow this roadmap and you will be into ready with confidence. Also, let me know in the comments which topic you like to see next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.